I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Today, I want to address the crazy on both sides. Yeah, I keep hearing about Joe Biden, how it's not just Trump, man, it's both sides.
He seems to have some difficulty letting go of the game. Has he had a long history of mental illness?
Now, let's analyze that, because usually when there is a conflict, one side is good, moral, or right, and one side is bad, evil, or wrong, At the end of World War II, nobody said Nazis in the alleys, man. It's both sides, man. Sure, the Nazis committed genocide, killing 6 million Jews, but the Allies, they let France still exist, and nobody wants that. It's both sides. Oh man, bro, when that girl got date raped, okay, all right, he shouldn't have raped her, but, she was dressed in that, totally normal outfit. It's both sides, bro. Look, those cops that shot that guy in the back 7 times in front of his kids, yeah, well, if you look at that guy on the back of his shirt was aggressive. It's both sides, man. Jeffrey Dahmer, right? Okay. He shouldn't have ate those people, I get it. But those dudes went home with him to have gay sex, right? It's both sides. No, actually, it's not. Especially now in our government. I have a lot of Trumpers telling me, both sides. Dems are just as bad. Nope. As a matter of fact, longtime Republican and hardcore conservative Steve Schmidt said this week,
the Republican Party is an organized conspiracy for the purposes of maintaining power for self-interest and the self-interest of its donor class. There is no fidelity to the American idea and ideal. There is no fidelity to the ideas of classical liberalism or American democracy. In 2020, there's one side, and I'm proud to be on it, that says it's for everybody. For black people, for Latinos, for gay people, for every American, right? It belongs to all of us. That's not what the other side believes.
Now, the other side did come back with a response. Their response was, shut up, Steve, you snowflake, liberal socialist. You're a kale-eating rhino, man. Why don't you go have sex with Nancy Pelosi in a Tesla, psycho? Because the other side is thinkers. Now, Steve Schmidt is a lifelong Republican who worked and ran the campaign for John McCain during his last attempt at becoming president. This week, he joined the Democratic Party. It ain't both sides. As we've seen in the last 4 years, one side puts kids in cages, ran up the debt to make rich people richer, screwed porn stars, then used campaign donations to pay that porn star off. They also did nothing, while 300,000 plus Americans died, and now refuses to help those Americans through a tragedy that side created. And the other side didn't. In fact, they passed stimulus in May. They begged for PPE and passed over 300 bills to help Americans, while the other side, Mitch McConnell specifically, let those bills sit on his desk unvoted on while people starved. There are two sides, but it ain't both sides. One side wants to protect the American public from a deadly virus and wants regulations to protect those people so more don't die from that virus. And the other side, elected by voters, wants to protect corporations. It's actually in the stimulus bill. That's what they're fighting about. They're trying to protect corporations from lawsuits brought by families of people who died because they were forced to work in deadly pandemic conditions without regulations. One side wants to protect Americans. One side wants to protect profits while people are getting evicted and waiting in food lines. So the next time you try to justify your racism, homophobia, xenophobia, look it up. I don't have time to explain what it means. Your hatred of immigrants or anyone not white, or when you want to kill people's health care, unemployment, Social Security, or are okay with putting them in cages, your both sides do it argument is a bald-faced bullshit lie to make you feel better about being a horrific human being without a soul. It's not both sides. Both sides aren't bad. Right now, it's your side. Period. Now you can apologize and we can move on together, fix America as a team, help each other, and go forward as one side. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. I'm like Martin Luther King, except almost clear. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. How are you doing? Not good, right? We are currently losing 2,000 plus people a day to COVID. And if you sling food and drink, everybody's jobs are on hold, unless you live in Florida. And then you get to go to Hooters for lunch, unfettered, and have your COVID breathed upon you by a girl in a push-up bra and camel toe shorts. Good job, Governor DeSantis. COVID is raging. The vaccine is months away, unless you are older than Chuck Grassley or one of our amazing medical heroes who are trying to save people older than Chuck Grassley. So we have at least 4 months before we all get something that was rushed through testing, injected directly into our bodies. Hey, at least it's not bleach.
Or just very powerful light.
It's a low bar. This is the fastest vaccines has ever been created. Thank you, science. You are a rock star, no matter how many toothless morons and orange dipshits say you aren't.
I don't think science knows, actually.
How are we going to make it through this? I mean, I can't work because my job, I spew COVID on people in joke form and they spew it back on me as a joyful, misty chuckle spray of beer and death droplets. So I'm screwed until we kill this stupid thing. And we could all use some relief, couldn't we? But as long as this human turtle impersonator, and chin storage unit is running the Senate, we're going to starve and continue fighting over discarded appliance boxes to living for the holidays. Moscow Grinch McConnell. He has shut down Christmas, people, after the Democrats, led by Christmas elf Pelosi and Jewish Santa Chuck Schumer, presented a true $1 trillion plan in May that would have got most, if not all, Americans through the worst presidential clusterfuck in over 100 years. It covered food, unemployment, stimulus, PPP for small business, and it would help everyone who got backhanded by COVID-19 because this obese Auburn douchebag thinks it doesn't exist. But this man, this diseased pelican-pouched prick, not only said no to help American families so they could keep their homes and, eat, he presented his bill. The Mitch McConnell, let them eat cake, except we're not giving them any cake, so they can all just bite me and starve act. But that doesn't include any money for states, his bill. No money for local governments, for Native Americans. Also no money for food or food banks. There's also a puppy kicking clause, I think. I'm not sure. I didn't read the whole thing. But actually, it does give corporations more money. Thank God we're going to save corporations. And for a couple of senators, it gives them Christmas gifts. A hobbit named Senator Toomey gets the unspent money from CARES Act locked down so Biden's new Fed chair, Janet Yellen, can't use it to help the country. Yeah, they're really being pricks on their way out. Tim Scott gets his piece so he can deduct business meals. Over Zoom, bro? Senator Cornyn gets a liability clause that protects companies if their lack of COVID safety kills their workers. Those workers can't sue. That's so Republican of you. And another $20 billion to farmers because Trump shat the bed with China trade so bad they lost all their contracts. Moscow Mitch is doing all he can to destroy America. On the daily, Putin must be paying a huge Christmas bonus. Here's what this horrible turtle-looking dumpster chin psychopath has blocked and stopped since sweet potato Hitler became president. A bipartisan bill requiring Facebook, Google, and other internet companies to disclose the purchasers and vet political ads. He killed it. They wanted to identify foreign influence. So we know that if it was like a Russian bot farm instead of Bobby Big Tool from Tulsa who say he found the liberal pedophile pizza parlor basement. I swear to God, it's right over there, man. Moscow Mitch killed a bipartisan bill imposing sanctions on anyone that attacks a U.S. election. Killed it. So now you can just ruin and steal our election. McConnell thinks it's a prank. Kids will be kids, McConnell. Thank you for covering us. This uncircumcised turtlehead killed another bill that had severe new restrictions on Russian for its cyber crimes. McConnell has prevented them all from being considered and voted on over and over again. And this is the same McConnell who in 2016 when briefed by the CIA along with other congressional leaders on Russia's attack on our election. He questioned our intelligence agencies, said they were full of it. Then he forced an edit of a letter to state officials about the threat, taking out any mention that it was Russian that did it, even though our security guys knew they did. Also during the election in 2016, he told Obama that if he brought up the Russian meddling during the election, McConnell was going to claim it was political. Yeah, McConnell may not be working directly with Russia to fill his bank account and destroy democracy, but when it comes to Vladimir Putin, Moscow Grinch is definitely a fan. I would say that Moscow Mitch McConnell is a Star Wars supervillain, but that would be an insult to Darth Vader. Let's call him a Space Force supervillain. And in my opinion, Mitch McConnell is a true enemy of America. Be safe, people. I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon update. I need to use less words.